Good day and welcome to this episode of the Sanlam Investments Fast Fund Fact Series. Joining me for this episode is Kingsley Williams. He is the Chief Investment Officer at Satrix. Kingsley, you know the drill. You're going to be under pressure. I'm going to fire questions at you. I want the facts. I want them fast. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
First question is, what is indexation?
Yeah, so instead of using the term passive, what we refer to, what we do in our business is indexation, because passive is often thought of as boring and market cap weighted only indices. But essentially there's a lot more to indexation than just tracking market cap weighted indices that would give you beta exposure to an asset class. It includes alternatively weighted strategies, which give you factor exposure. It gives you exposure to, you can track thematic indices, which give you very niche exposure to different segments of the market locally and globally. And essentially it encompasses anything that is managed in a systematic or rules-based way. So what we don't do is opportunistic trading to take advantage of opportunities in the market. That would be very much the realm of active managers.
All right, what are the major trends in indexation, industry trends?
Yep, so what we're seeing particularly, like why is it useful to categorize funds as index funds or indexation type strategies, is because it gives you an insight into the market that you might otherwise miss. And what we're seeing particularly in the multi-asset high equity space, that would be a segment of the market that I would view as having the most degrees of freedom and most opportunity for active managers to express active views. We're seeing more than 1 in 3 rands going, from a flow perspective, going into indexed or rules-based or systematic balanced funds.
All right, Smart Core, it is your flagship multi-factor fund. How did that fund perform in 2022?
Yeah, so the short answer is it outperformed its reference benchmark, which is the CAPSWIX. Outperformed it by about 75 basis points for 2022. It was a particularly challenging year for multi-factor funds and factor funds in general. The only strategy that really did well in 2022 was value. We do have exposure to value through Smart Core, but some of the other factor exposures that we have in that strategy really struggled, like quality and momentum. But despite that, a lot of the risk mitigation that we build into the Smart Core strategy, the overall Smart Core strategy managed to still deliver a positive return.
All right, what are the main benefits of ETFs?
Yeah, so the key advantage that an ETF would have over, say, a more traditional unit trust or mutual fund would be the fact that typically exchange traded funds have a lower operating cost, total expense ratio than their equivalent unit trust, certainly in the retail space. And so that would be the benefit that investors could access by accessing an ETF versus the equivalent unit trust, is lower total expense ratios. The other benefit is that you typically find a much wider variety of investment strategies available within the ETF subset rather than within unit trusts.
All right, how can intermediaries access ETFs?
That's something Satrix has worked incredibly hard at, to make ETFs more accessible. That's very much the core of Satrix's DNA. So ETFs can now be accessed on LISP platforms, the platforms that intermediaries would typically administer their clients' portfolios through. They can be accessed seamlessly like you would access a unit trust. You don't need to make sure you're trading in a whole share. All of the fractionalization is implemented behind the scenes. So you can access ETFs alongside unit trusts within one portfolio for a client seamlessly.
Kingsley, well done. That's a lot of information in a short space of time. To our audience, thank you very much for joining us for this episode, and please look out for additional episodes covering all our other capabilities at Sanlam Investments.